Hello guys and welcome to Painting Panzers. My name's Christian and today we're going to be taking a look at a 172 Italeri/esci British soldier for the Anglo-Zulu War. So he's in his red tunic in that sort of typical Victorian era looking British uniform, and he looks very cool, might I add. So yeah, we're going to be taking a look at how you would paint your Brits for the defence of Rorkes Drift onwards. And it's a very easy method to follow, so stick with me, watch until the end, and then once you finish, let me know how you found it. Now, as you can see, these British for the Anglo-Zulu War were part of the old esci set, which has been taken over by Italeri, and this set contains some infantry in action poses as well as just your sort of standard relaxing poses, and then the odd one in a casualty pose. So there's a really nice mixture of figures in the box set, and it's well worth grabbing if you're into this time period. So my esci figure is going to be primed with Tamiya Surface Primer Light Grey, and then I need to find myself a really good red for that red tunic, and I'm going to go with Deep Red from AK Interactive. It's up to you if you want to go with AK Interactive, but I really sort of scratched my head as to what would make a really nice red tunic. You don't want a red that's too dark, but you don't want one that's too light, and I think this Deep Red actually works really nice. It's a bit more subtle than just like a flat red. So for the webbing, I'm going to be using old wood. So by webbing, I mean his ammunition pouches, his straps. He's got a little like bag as well. Going to be painting all of that in this color. Now, it was white. From my understanding, they actually stained them with tea bags. So you want to give them that stained tea bag look, or you could paint them all white too. It's up to you. But from what I've read, they were more stained than they were just left pure white, and that includes the helmet as well. Then for the trousers, I go with dark blue grey. Now, it was a toss-up between dark Prussian blue or dark blue grey, but from the photos I've seen online, the trousers actually looked a little bit darker and not as blue. So I think dark blue grey works well for this scale. It's not too dark, and it's going to be easy to highlight. Then black for the boots. So it's pretty straightforward, just going to be painting these boots in black. And this esci figure has got some lovely detail on it, so take your time, try not to make too much mess. And also this other bag here, that seems to have been black as well. Then for the Martini Henry rifle, I'm going to be painting that in flat earth, so that's the wooden areas of the rifle. There's a few different clips and stuff, metal clips and brackets that you need to just bear in mind where they are. You can always use photos on Google for reference, just mark where they are and try not to paint over them. But if you do need to paint them in a metal colour, then black grey is what I'm going to be going for. I don't go with silvers anymore. I used to. I've opted to move away from that. But obviously you could paint that in a really dark silver if you wanted to. But I think a darker grey actually works a little bit better, in my opinion at least anyway. And then for his water bottle, I'm going to be using burnt umber. Now you can see the water bottle is made up of a few different parts. You've got the lid, which I'd be painting in Iraqi sand, and then you've got the water bottle as well as the scabbard here. I'll be painting that in that same colour as well. And then once that's dry, I'm going to be giving him a wash of Nor Oil and Lafmeo Medium, otherwise known as Technical Medium, from Citadel. Get yourself a bottle of each, take half of one out and fill it with half of the other, and then you get yourself 2 bottles. I say 1-to-1, it's probably a little bit more of the Nor Oil than the thinners. So yeah, just mess around with it when you get your sets. So once that figure's dry, it'll take a couple of hours. You want to go over the uniform in dark, deep red and white at a 2-to-1 ratio. So I've put white. Doesn't matter if you use a Vallejo or AK Interactive white. I believe this was actually white grey from Vallejo. And then you just want to give this a layer. This is all I'm going to be doing. I'm not going to be doing any crazy highlights or anything. So just lay. You can see I'm leaving the original base colour that's been washed in the recesses, and then everything else is getting nice clean. So with that uniform popping, we want to go ahead and do the same with the trousers. So I'm going to be using dark blue grey and white grey at a 2-to-1 ratio. So just make sure you're watching that ratio nicely. You don't want to go a 1-to-1 because you're probably going to make it way too light and looking a little bit unrealistic. But again, it's up to you. It's whatever you think is going to work best. And then for that webbing that's been stained, I'm going to use old wood and stone grey, so it's going to give it a bit more of a dulled down look. Normally I use Iraqi sand with old wood, it complements each other nicely, but I think stone grey gives it more of that stained tea bag look with a hint of white coming through. So yeah, that's what I would recommend for the webbing and the helmet, and I'm just dry brushing the helmet on, opposed to just trying to paint each individual section of the helmet because it's made up of quite a few different grooves and such. Then for the wood grains, I'm going to be using flat earth and orange brown at a 1:1 ratio, and as you can see here, I'm literally just scraping in the details to simulate those wood grains. And then I'm using old wood to repeat that same process, just reducing the amount that I put on there. But yeah, old wood is very bright, so you don't want to put too much on there, and just add in those nice little lines. Then for the metal, I'm going to be using black grey and basalt grey at a 1:1 ratio, and following the same sort of principle as the uniform and the trousers, just going to be building up to a lighter colour in a moment. So with the uniform and trousers, we just do that one layer, but we are going with a second layer, which is different to that uniform and with basalt grey. And this is where we literally just pick out the raised areas. So all the individual parts of the Martini Henry rifle are getting a coat of this basalt grey. Now for the insignia on his uniform, I'm using white grey. So there's a little bit on the end of each sleeve that needs this. You can see here I'm just taking my time with a nice pointy brush. And then with that done, you want to paint the inside of those areas where the sort of U-shaped white bit is with Luftwaffe Cam Green. You can also highlight that if you really wanted to, and just by adding a little bit of old wood into that mixture. Now for the water bottle, I'm just going to scratch in some burnt umber and orange brown just to make that water bottle pop. I'll do the same with the bayonet scabbard as well. Now for the buttons on the tunic, I'm going to be using Iraqi sand. It seems a little bit silly, but trust me, it's going to work nicely. It's going to help those buttons pop without being metallic in colour. And yeah, I think it's going to help. I'm also going to use that Iraqi sand for the top of the water bottle as well. Then for the black pouch, I'm going to be using black and dark Prussian blue at a 1:1 ratio. And that's going to give us a nice highlighted pouch using that really dark blue to give it a bit of a shiny leather look. Then for the end of the scabbard, I'm going to be painting that in gold. It would probably be more than likely have been brass, but gold just sticks out a lot better. And the same with the belt buckle as well. Now for the flesh areas, I'm going to be using light flesh. And the paintbrush I'm using today is a Rosemarine Co. Kolinsky Sable size 0 brush. So you want to make sure you're using a nice pointed brush and one that's not going to cause you too many dramas because it's got loose bits flying all over the place. Then for the flesh, I'm going to be using Flesh Wash to wash that flesh. And honestly, Flesh Wash from Vallejo takes like 5 minutes to dry. So you can come back up once it's dried within that 5 to 10 minute window with light flesh and highlight flesh from AK Interactive at a 1:1 ratio, and just pick out those raised areas. So pick out each individual finger, the nose, the cheeks, the chin, the ears, but just don't join them all together. Let them be separated from one another, and just let those individual cheeks and such stand out better with that highlight. And then if you followed this guide, you should end up with something similar to this. And he's come out absolutely great. Perfect for Rorkes Drift or any other battle on the Anglo-Zulu War you're trying to copy. So overall, a really enjoyable painting tutorial. I absolutely love the film Zulu and Zulu Dawn. It's honestly my absolute favourite. I don't know a whole lot about the time period, to be completely honest. I just watched a lot of Zulu, but I have been watching a lot of the history chap as well as Redcoat History. I'll leave a link to those channels in the video description. They've got some amazing, absolutely amazing videos on that, and they both cover the Zulu Wars in great detail. So you really would be missing out if you want to watch anything about the Zulu War and you missed those. So yeah, definitely highly recommended. So a massive thank you goes out to the patrons and YouTube channel members, as well as my Panzer Aces. So that's Patrick, Oscar, James, Panzer Jim, Colin, Lack of Foresight Gaming, Mike, Mikey, Eric, Roughguard, Jonathan and Ian. You guys are all absolute champions. Thank you so much for being those aces. Now, if you'd like to join their ranks or the ranks of others in the membership program, you can join for as little as $1 a month, and that gives you access to a few perks, like having early release to some of my tutorials, of which there are quite a few out at the moment. So please do consider it if you are interested in the channel and you've been really enjoying the content I've put out. Alright guys, I'm going to leave it here. Please leave me a comment in the comment section, letting me know what you want to see on the 172 series as a painting tutorial next. But until then, I will catch you at the next one.